Yeah, so I was lucky enough to be at A-Day, and I was lucky enough to be at the first game of the DeBoer era. You can definitely feel a little bit of a different energy
Mm.
there, and that's not necessarily a bad thing. I think the one thing towards the end of Saban's run, especially in the NIL era, is that players had a lot more freedom, a
Mhm.
lot more choices as far as like where they could go. They're dictating a playing time. They can control a lot more. And I'm not saying that Saban never had control because he definitely did. I mean, you still have to get the guys in and build in and buy into the culture. But I also think at the end of the day, DeBoer is embracing that NIL era and he's embracing that younger culture. He's just a little more relatable. That's why you got a guy like Courtney Morgan. I think Courtney Morgan right now is probably the most underappreciated college football employee. I've gotten a chance to talk to him, and I got to pick the guy's brain, and he genuinely loves and gets and understands not just football, but he gets the culture of everything.
Mm.
He gets these kids. These kids love him. I've seen him pitch on A-Day to a kid, and I'm not going to name the recruit, but I watched him. I was like, damn, I want to go suit up for this guy. I mean, he's incredible. Wherever he would go, I would go play for him. Um, and I think he's doing a really good job. I think he's doing as good a job as you can ask for replacing a guy like Nick Saban. I mean, I think I was very upfront and honest. I thought there were three people you call for the job. Originally, when Saban retired, I said Dan Lanning, D'Amico Rhines, and Lane Kiffin. And Sarkeesian in there, but I never thought Sark was going to leave Texas.
I didn't think Sark was going to
I
leave.
think he's got it all. The only reason I thought Dan Lanning is he's young, he's a Saban guy, he's coached in the SEC before, and I just love the energy he kind of brings. D'Amico Ryans was like a wild card, like a Hail Mary because he's got a great thing going in the NFL, but he's a Bama guy. He's well respected in the coaching community. And I think recruiting wise, we wouldn't miss a step. In fact, I actually think it would have been really good for it. And then Lane, just because I love chaos, I really do, and I love the Lane train. But I never the stories I've been told about Lane with the boosters and everything. It's just I don't see it happening ever, and which I hate because I think Lane is. I think he's a top five coach in college football, and
I
I
agree.
and I can debate that with a lot of people. Uh, Building what he's built, but when Kalen DeBoer got put into the circle, I was like, man, I just don't know. I know he's a great coach. And I mean, what he did at Washington is nothing to, sneeze at, but I was just a little worried how he come in and then he didn't miss a beat. I mean, getting Ryan Williams back, getting these guys to buy into the culture. He did great in the transfer portal. LT Overton's a freak. What we got with Saab at Michigan,
Mhm.
the guys we're bringing in next year. I mean, getting guys like Womack to leave a head coaching job in college football to come be a defensive coordinator. I mean, things like that like are being overlooked, and I think he's building something special here. I think not this year. This year, I think as long as he holds the ship steady, and I never expected to go perfect this season. If we do, incredible. But being realistic in this, the next 2 years is where I'm like, okay, Ryan Williams is a sophomore. He's got a five-star quarterback coming in. He's got Ty Simpson, a fifth-year guy coming in, probably going to take the realms next year. Jam Miller and Justice will be another year older. I feel like the next 2 years is where it's like, all right, this is the DeBoer, Alabama. But so far, so good. I mean, I gotta give it an A. He's done fantastic. The ship looked like it was sinking worse than the Titanic, and
Yeah.
he has kept the thing afloat, which I will say, and you know this too, going to school there, Alabama fans, we've been spoiled for the last like better half of 2 decades. It's been like that. And it's not the younger generation's fault that they're coming into this, but seeing it from the outside, like I remember when Saban got hired in '07 and they lost to Louisiana Monroe. As a non-Alabama fan, I'm like, wow, this is bad. And then the next year, boom, it's happening. So I give it an A. I could also make the case for a B plus if you're worried about in-state recruiting, but I'm not because I've seen Bama and Nick Saban and those guys get guys from California and Texas and everything like that. We're gonna be fine.
Yeah, I agree. I wanted Lane. I'm not gonna lie. I think Lane has settled
He is.
well into a head coaching position since being at Ole Miss. I think before I was a little torn. I thought maybe he's just a coordinator. He needs a head coach to kind of keep him on the straight and narrow. But I think he's really grown as a coach at Ole Miss, and I would have
Yeah.
loved to see him back. I was unsure about DeBoer, but I'm feeling better. I feel like I agree. In the next couple years, we're going to start to see some really big moves. And I'm almost okay with people not fully realizing it yet. Like let's do our work behind the curtain and then we'll come out and show everybody and surprise them. But we're not missing a step on the main stage right now. So I'm certainly happy with that.